Hello and welcome to Joy of Books with me, Miss Joy. Today's book is Stormbreaker by Antony Horowitz. This young adult fiction book was released in 2000 and contains 192 pages. Sharing his views on the book today is author and teacher TC.
Thank you very much, Miss Joy. Well, I can recall reading this book many years ago when I began my teaching career. In fact, Stormbreaker was touted as the book to get boys into books. And it certainly didn't disappoint. I remember there being quite a frenzy around these books, this series of books in the Alex Rider series. Alex, of course, is a 14-year-old boy. His parents were alleged to have died in a plane crash, and he lives with his uncle Ian. Stormbreaker begins with a visit from the police, who inform Alex that his uncle Ian has died in a car accident. Now, Alex is immediately suspicious because his uncle Ian always wore his seatbelt and told him to do the same. He also receives a rather suspicious visit from government agencies, and this is the start of this spy thriller. So he ends up joining MI6 and is sent down to investigate this Stormbreaker computer factory down in Cornwall. It's a really action-packed spy thriller, in essence a young James Bond series. That's how I would put that before the Higson series actually started. And I think even Horowitz himself has admitted being hugely influenced by the Bond series. In terms of appeal to young boys, the gadgets were the thing in this book. I remember the Game Boy with all different devices in it linked to spy work. That really appealed to the market at the time. In fact, this novel doesn't really have any dull moments. It's a real roller coaster ride. It's about this idea of a deadly virus containing a lethal smallpox hidden in computers. I mean, way ahead of its time in terms of biological weapons, and it also talks about, get this, Chinese, Russian and Iranian backers. I mean, look at what's happening in the world now with China, Russia and Iran. We can see that Horowitz is really ahead of his time in terms of these global terrorism issues. I enjoyed reading the book. You had the stereotypical villain, you had the henchman in there as well. There was the kind of female, nice looking but quite evil. You had the agency boss. All very, very interesting stuff. It's a fast and fun read. I mean, if a teenage boy was asked to write a story in English at that time, I would say this would be the exact type of thing that they would write. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed it. And of course, the books that followed showed development as well. In terms of Stormbreaker itself, some bits could be better. I think the dialogue was just a little bit simplistic, but then again, I have to remind myself, a conversation with a 14-year-old could well come across as that. Maybe that's what Horowitz is going for. I'm certainly going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think that the downside of parts of the book, there's a lot of label dropping. So I mentioned BMW earlier. He talks about Nike, Gap, Pepsi, Coca-Cola. I mean, they're all thrown in there. I'm not sure if he was looking for sponsorship and film tie-ins and so forth, but they're all in there. Maybe he's targeting, like I say, this young male readership. That could be the case, but certainly as an adult reader, looking back on it, certainly it's just a little bit on the nose. But overall, it's a good read. It's aimed at teenage boys. I'm long since past that stage of my life, but I still enjoyed the book. I really would still recommend this to boys out there looking to get into reading.
Well, thank you very much for your review of the book, TC. It is clear that you really enjoyed that great book. Antony Horowitz's book, Stormbreaker, is available from all good book outlets. Thank you for joining me, and please remember to like and subscribe to Joy Books.